So let's go to Buffalo, Kansas City.
Yep.
I thought Buffalo came in so dialed in and focused, and their feeling was early after a Baltimore turnover is, guys, play within ourselves. Buffalo's given us field position. Baltimore's given us field position. They're making mistakes. They're pressing. Let's not. I thought it was focused, smart, principled. They mixed it up. I thought it was Sean McDermott's one of his better game plans in days. I felt they kind of adjusted. It was really not reliant on anybody. They rarely threw the ball down the field. So now you got Spags defense against this pretty diverse Buffalo offense. What are you expecting?
To be honest with you, I was fascinated and somewhat surprised by the Bills' offense. They basically played the game without Josh Allen being a big factor as a passer. And to me, I didn't think they could win the game playing that way, but they did. They came out just like the week before against Denver, but they were playing the best run defense in the league. And really, they came out and they ran the ball again. I think in the first half, they had 21 called runs and 8 called passes. I mean, they lined up with their 6 offensive linemen personnel, which they have done more than any team in the league. I think they did it 10 times just in the first half alone. They played with the fullback, Reggie Gilliam. They believe they can run the ball clearly against anybody. Now, I don't know if they'll feel that way against the Chiefs. It seems as if that's their MO right now, but there will be long yardage situations. There are in every game. And you know as well as I do, Colin, that there is no better situational blitzer in this league than Steve Spagnuolo.
Yeah.
He knows exactly when to dial it up, and he uses his defensive backs as blitzers better than any defensive coach in the league. And no matter how well the Bills' offense might run the ball, there will be long yardage situations.
Yeah. This is the biggest common theme for me going through all these teams and going through all these games, and it's just so obvious, and it really just confirms what I've been saying, and a handful of other people in their comment section, of the importance of coaching, and how we saw what the Bills did against the Ravens and what they did against the Broncos, and what you're kind of hoping, if you're obviously a Bills fan, what they do against the Chiefs. And you see a team that's actually ready to play, but with an intentional game plan. And I talk about this so frequently. It's one of my main talking points of this whole idea of, intentionality. And it's part of the issue that I had with the Buffalo Bills in years past, where I'm like, what's the game plan? What are you trying to do? Or if a game plan's not working, they either abandon it too soon or don't abandon it at all. And it's just like, what adjustments are you making? And I don't even mean just like halftime adjustments. It's just like, going with the flow of the game. For instance, like the Ravens, having this very intentional game plan and then seeing what the Ravens are giving them and how they have, control of this game. And it's like, we're going to just stay within this. We're not going to do anything to give the Ravens. We're not going to help the Ravens get back into this game. So just really smart, intentional football. High level coaching. Very high level coaching. And we can say that for all 4 teams that are in the playoffs right now. The Chiefs, the Eagles, the Bills, and the Commanders. And I think it was really on full display for the Buffalo Bills against the Ravens. And it is a question that Greg Cosell's, saying right now, kind of like, what will they be doing against the Chiefs? And what changes will they make throughout that game? And how will they handle some of the things that we know that the Kansas City Chiefs want to do? This feels very much like a game that the Buffalo Bills have to rip the momentum, rip control, set the tone, and just be in charge. They need to send the message to the Kansas City Chiefs that this is different. This is not last year. This is not the year before. We are going to get the lead, and we are not looking back. We are going to run you out of town and out of your own stadium your own city, your own state. Like this is just gonna be just high level football where we are not playing catch up. We are not trying to figure out what are the Chiefs gonna do. What are the Chiefs gonna do offensively? What are the Chiefs gonna do defensively? What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? We're forcing the Chiefs to say, what are the Bills doing? We have to figure out what are the Bills trying to do? How do we stop the Bills? How do we score on the Bills? And it has not been that way. Even the game where they played week 11. That was a game that was in balance. You definitely felt like the Bills had control of the game, but it was definitely kind of like imbalance. For sure. And then it took Josh Allen to be Superman and convert that fourth and go in for a touchdown. But I think that the Bills need to play even higher level than that. Because I think the Chiefs team are a better team than they are in week 11. They're healthier. They have different pieces there. And I'm excited to see what style ball they play. Because when they can be dominant and powerful, playing conservatively, man, that is a superpower. That is. And that's what we've seen from the Chiefs for years. High-level football just wins the game 99.9% of the time. It really does. As long as you don't get any of this fluky stuff, you're golden. You're good. And it's just so fascinating. Because I just wonder, are the Buffalo Bills going to try a different approach going up against Kansas City Chiefs? Are they going to take a similar approach as they did in week 11? Are they going to take a similar approach against the Broncos, the Ravens, etc.? Because we know what they're capable of doing. We know this Bills team. I remember Orlovsky said this, months ago at this point, weeks and weeks and weeks ago, in the very beginning of the season. He said, unless a defense has high-level communication, this team will hang 30 on you. Like that. I broke down the clip. I think it was after they played the Jaguars, I think is what it was. And we've obviously seen what they've been able to do against the Rams, against the Lions, and of course, this is the Kansas City Chiefs, so I'm not expecting the Bills to just like hang points left and right and just do whatever they want. Not to mention, you're expecting the Chiefs to be able to put up some points, no matter how good you think your defense is, or no matter how bad you think the Chiefs' offense is these days relative to what it has been in the past. We know they're going to have some special plays. We know Travis Kelce is going to randomly be wide open, and you're going to be like, oh my God, how is he wide open? We know Xavier Worthy will rip off some 30-yard, some sort of 30-yard play. We know that's going to happen. We know that. We know Mahomes will look like he's about to go down, and then he doesn't. We know it. We've seen this so many times. And that's why, to me, it's so important that this offense really just lets you know, that's cool that you can do all those things. That's cool. But, like, dude, we're not the Houston Texans. We're not the Denver Broncos. We're not the Raiders. We're not the Chargers. We're not that. We can do so much more. We can do so much more. And there's all this talk about the Kansas City Chiefs secretly holding back. They're keeping secrets to their chest. And apparently the Buffalo Bills are just revealing everything they got. And they did everything they could to beat that, to beat the Chiefs. Whereas the Chiefs in week 11 were acting like, no, it's okay. We want to win, but we're not going to do everything just yet. We're going to hold back a little bit. That's what the whispers are. That's what people like Nick Wright are saying. And the Bills are like, bro, this isn't 2021. This isn't 2022. This isn't 2023. This isn't even 2024. It's 2025. This is a new team. This is a new era. We have some continuity. We actually have high-level coaching. We have a coordinator who can genuinely game plan in high-level games. And we got Josh Allen. So this game, man, just every video I feel obligated to say that this game is just going to have so much angst. Because, again, all the things that I just said, the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be like, that's real cute and all, that's great. That was an awesome little rant of yours. Congrats. Better luck next year. Like, that's what the Chiefs want to do this year. There's so much confidence. And I know that the Texans had a weird game with the Buffalo Bills. I know that. That was a bizarrely weird game. But then you had the Chiefs, somewhat struggle with the Texans. It was not like a struggle. It was just a weird game. And you're like, that wasn't high-level football by the Houston Texans. And yet they, technically could have come away with a win, which just felt weird. It felt fundamentally weird. And if the Buffalo Bills just show up and play high-level football, you slay this dragon. So that's why it just comes to execution. How do they execute? You saw firsthand what it was like to see the Baltimore Ravens fail to execute. Throwing a wide open, interception. I don't know how else to put it, but the defender was wide open again. I could have caught that interception. It's literally the fumble, the drop 2-point conversion. You see what happens. The Buffalo Bills saw what it was like last year against the Kansas City Chiefs, what it was like to fail to execute, fail to catch the ball. And for the entirety of that game last year, it felt like the Kansas City Chiefs were in control the whole time. Even though the Buffalo Bills made it close, you still was watching this game and you're like, oh, Kansas City Chiefs look like they're ready to play. And they got their game plan. The Buffalo Bills, not so much. Defense is struggling. Offense is kind of just a little wonky. Definitely just relying on Josh Allen play after play after play. It felt disconnected and not intentional. These last two playoff games, the Buffalo Bills look intentional and actually ready to play. You bring that to Kansas City, you win the game. If you build it, they will come. That is the definition of this game for the Buffalo Bills right here. If you build it, they will come. So it's up to them to get it done. It truly is up to them to get it done. And to just execute. Have a high-level game plan and execution. Intentionality. We know the Kansas City Chiefs will do that. We know that. With Andy Reid, Spags, and Mahomes at the helm, we know that. There's never a question about that. That is their ultimate superpower. They have the game plan. They have the intentionality. They have the readiness. We know that. It's always been question marks for all these other teams. And lately, hasn't been a question mark for the Buffalo Bills. But now all those other games don't matter. The only thing that matters is Sunday from 6:30 to, 10, whatever it is. That's what matters. That's what matters. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Buffalo Bills? How do you think they're going to fare against the Kansas City Chiefs defense? What do you think the game plan is going to be? Do you think they're going to still try to really be this kind of more run first team, so to speak, or dare I say a little bit more conservative? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.